Hello, I'm back with another big question of life. Pandemics, they can bring these big questions of life to the forefront of our minds. So I'm here to answer a few of them. Now, what is a big question of life? Big question of life are questions of ultimate significance. Is there a God? Who am I? Where did I come from? Where did humans come from? Is there a purpose in life? Why is there evil in the world? And what happens to me when I die? Bunnies, kittens, lemon trees, they don't care about the answers to these questions, but you and your children, you do. And the way you answer these questions will very much likely be the way your children will answer them too. So here we go. What is our question for today? Our question for today is, what are humans? Are humans any more special than any other creature? What is so special about humans? Where did they come from? What does it mean to be a human? How important is this question anyway? Do I need to know the answer for this question on my everyday life, especially during a pandemic? I think we do. Look at PETA, for example, the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. Their motto is, a rat is a pig, is a dog, is a boy. And then they cite this declaration from some scientists that says that humans are not unique in ways that matter. Notice that this is a declaration. It's authoritative, answering this big question of life. On the top there, you see that to experiment on, eat. Now, even eating animals is unethical for humans. You can imagine how someone who thinks that a boy is the same as a rat, a pig, or a dog would in fact treat a boy. It is this type of thinking about humans that creates the moral terrain where over 600,000 babies are killed in the womb. And that's just on the year of 2016. The answer to this question matter. In a time of a pandemic, your compassion, your care, your love for your fellow neighbor will depend greatly on your view of what it is to be a man or a woman. What does it mean to be a human? The answer to this question, through history, especially in the 20th century, has proven a matter of life and death. Now, how does the Bible answer this question? I want to take you to the Children's Catechism and show how we outline the answers to these questions. In the Children's Catechism, the first question concerning this big question of life, of what it is to be a man or a woman, is this one. Who were our first parents? Adam and Eve. You can see straight away that the biblical worldview is at odds with the prevailing culture. The culture around us today thinks that Adam and Eve weren't real people and that they are just a fable created by a particular nation to explain their origin. But that's not what the Bible is saying. The Bible is saying that Adam and Eve were a special creation of God and that every man and woman came from them. Now, the second question is, how did God create man? The Bible says that God created man, male and female, after his own image. Male and female, woo! Talk about being at odds with the culture. That cuts through a lot of the confusion. The Bible says that God did in fact create man, male and female. Mankind is made only in two sexes, and both of them have equal dignity before God because both of them were created in God's image. And being created in God's image is what gives men and women infinite value. They are not like the other animals. They were created in God's own image to spread God's glory across the world. Finally, the Children's Catechism answers this question. In what condition did God make Adam and Eve? God made them holy and happy. Holy meaning two things. They were set apart. They are not like everybody else. They're not like everything else. And also in some level of perfection. They were made very good and also happy. So holy and happy. And happiness would mean, in some sense, harmony with all of the rest of creation. We can start to see that another question is coming to the forefront here because we see that something has gone wrong with the world. What has gone wrong with the world? That's another big life question, which I will answer on a coming episode. But for today, think about today's big question of life. What does it mean to be a human? It means to be created male and female in God's own image. And that matters a lot. Now, what you are teaching your children, what they're learning in school, or what they're learning from Poe, from Kung Fu Panda, and Finding Nemo, and all the other Disney Plus streaming videos, are they undermining or are they affirming the biblical view of what it means to be a human? So I'll see you next time.